Lesson 104, volume, capacity, and mass in the metric system. First, let's look at volume and capacity. Here we have units of measurement. We have a container filled with liquid or gas, and the volume is specified in capacity units. So capacity units are like milliliters, liters, kiloliters, and megaliters. So you can see 1 milliliter is the same as 1 cubic centimeter, or 1 liter is the same as 1,000 cubic centimeters, and 1 cubic meter is like 1,000 liters. And for all of these are only dealing with water, because other liquids and gases would have a different amount of capacity. So down below, we want to really focus in on this one and this one for water under standard conditions. So for volume, it would be 1,000 cubic centimeters, which is the same as 1 liter, which is the same as 1 kilogram. Or 1 cubic meter is the same as 10 to the 6th milliliter, which is the same as 10 to the 3rd kilograms. And over here in grams, we have 1 cubic centimeter is the same as 1 milliliter, which is the same thing as 1 gram in mass. We're going to be using those conversions today in our sample problems. So sample problem 1, Ray has a fish aquarium that is 50 centimeters long and 20 centimeters wide. The aquarium is filled with water to a depth of 40 centimeters. How many liters of water are in the aquarium? So down below to the right here, we have the aquarium, the picture of the aquarium. We would need to first find the volume. So 50 times 20 is 1,000 times 40, which would be 40,000. This would be 40,000 cubic centimeters. And we know that 1 cubic centimeters is the same as 1 milliliters. So if I have 40,000 cubic centimeters, that's the same thing as saying I have 40,000 milliliters. And I also know that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So they're asking us for this to be in liters. So if I have 40,000 milliliters, if I divide my 40,000, so I have 40,000 milliliters over 1, I need to convert that to liters. So that's 1 liter over 1,000 milliliters. My labels divide out, and now I can divide, so 0 divides with 0, another 10, 1,000. That leaves me with 40 liters. So using again our unit multipliers, or unit ratios that we've learned earlier in the year. The second part of the question, what is the mass of the water in the aquarium? And when they're dealing with mass, we're working with kilograms and grams. So since we had liters, we're going to continue that. Liters is matched up with kilograms, and we know that 1 liter is the same as 1 kilogram. So 1 liter is the same as 1 kilogram. If I have 40 liters, that would be the same thing as saying 40 kilograms. Second problem. Volume wants to find the volume of a vase. She fills a 1 liter beaker with water and then uses all but 280 milliliters to fill the vase. What is the volume of the vase? Since 1 liter is the same as 1,000 cubic centimeters, and we're looking at volume, so we have to have it in cubic centimeters. But it uses all 1,000 but 280. So I need to subtract 280 milliliters, and 1,000 minus 280 would give us 720 cubic centimeters. So 720 cubic centimeters. And the reason why I went the one liter to the 1,000, technically it would really be, there's 1,000 milliliters because they use all but 280 milliliters. So this would actually be milliliters, but we know that 1 milliliter is the same as 1 cubic centimeter. So that's why I'd just multiply this by 1 cubic centimeter over 1 milliliter. The milliliters cancel off, and there's your 720 cubic centimeters. Part B, if the mass of the vase is 640 grams, what is the mass of the vase filled with water? So again, we're going to be using the conversion of 1 cubic centimeter. It's the same as 1 milliliter, which is the same thing as 1 gram. So if we were trying to figure out this in grams, we would take our answer for the volume of the vase, which is 720 grams, because everything is 1 to 1 to 1. We would have to add the mass of the vase, which is 640 grams. If you add those two together, we would have 1,360 grams. That would be the mass of the vase filled with water. Third question. On a fishing boat, live bait is kept in a cubic tank, measuring 1 meter on each edge. So that would be 1 cubic meter. So right now we have 1 cubic meter is the tank, so the volume of the tank. And just to let you to review, 1 cubic meter is the same as 10 to the 6th milliliters, which is the same thing as 10 to the 3rd kilograms. We're going to make use of that in our problem today. It says find the volume of the tank. So we would convert this from meters to centimeters, and there's 1 meter. 1 meter has 1,000 centimeters. 100 centimeters. So 1 meter has 100 centimeters. So if we take the volume of it, that would be 100 times 100 times 100. So we'd have 1 with 6 zeros, which would be 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. Part B says find the capacity of the tank in liters. So now I have to go back and figure out with liters. I know that there's 1,000 cubic centimeters. 1,000 cubic centimeters is the same as 1 liter. And I have 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. So if I take my 1,000,000 cubic centimeters, that over 1, multiply it by this unit ratio, I have 1 liter is the same as 1,000 cubic centimeters. The cubic centimeters label, divide out, and then I can just knock off each of these zeros, so 1,000 of the zeros. That would leave us with 1,000 liters. And C, find the approximate mass of a tank full of water in kilograms and its equivalent weight in pounds. Use 1 kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. We're going to use 1 liter is the same as 1 kilogram. And since we have 1,000 liters, that would be 1,000 kilograms. So put the 1,000 kilograms. That's the mass in kilograms. And then the equivalent weight in pounds, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So I would just multiply 2.2 times 1,000. I just moved the decimal place 3 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, fill these with zeros. That would give us 2,200 pounds. Question 4. To increase the community water supply, the water company will replace the existing water tank. The new tank has dimensions 30% greater. If the current cylindrical tank is 10 meters high and 20 meters in diameter, then the new tank will hold about how many liters of water? So to solve this one, first let's find the volume of the current cylindrical tank. So this would be pi, since it's a cylinder, we would do pi times radius squared times the height. So 3.14 times the radius. Since the diameter is 20, the radius has to be 10, so 10 squared times the height, which is 10. This would give us 3,140. This would be cubic meters. But we want that in cubic centimeters. So this in cubic centimeters would be 3,140,000 cubic centimeters. So I would just have to multiply this by 10 cubed, which is 1,000. Then it says that the new tank has dimensions 30% greater. So 30% greater, that means it's 130% of what it was before. So 130 divided by 100 is 1.3. So that's our scale factor. And since we are dealing with volume, we would cube the scale factor. So 1.3 cubed would be 2.197. And if I would take my 3,140,000 times 2.197, we would get an answer of, so take the 3,140,000 times 2.197 would give us an answer of 68,000 or 6,898,580, and this would be cubic centimeters. And 1 cubic centimeter would be the same thing as 1 liter. So this would be also the same thing as a liter. But you'll notice that our answers are in scientific notation. So if I move the decimal point from here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 10 to the 6th liter. 6.89, if we rounded to the nearest tenth, this would be 6.9 times 10 to the 6th, which would be C. And our last questions. What is the mass of 3 liters of water? Well, 1 liter is the same as 1 kilogram. So if I have 3 liters would be the same thing as 3 kilograms. So the mass would be 3 kilograms. What is the volume of 2 liters of water? So 2 liters of water would be the same thing. Well, if we go back to their conversions, 1 liter is the same as 1,000 cubic centimeters. So 1,000 cubic centimeters is the same as 1 liter. We have 2 liters, so that would be the same thing as 2,000 cubic centimeters. Letter C, when the bottle was filled with water, the mass increased by 1 kilogram. How many milliliters of water were added? So one kilogram is the same as 1 liter, and 1 liter has the same thing as 1,000 milliliters. So we would say that there was 1,000 milliliters added to the bottle. Letter D, an aquarium that is 25 centimeters long, 10 centimeters wide, and 12 centimeters deep can hold how many liters of water? So 25 times 10 is 250. 250 times 12 would give us an answer of 3,000. So this is 3,000 cubic centimeters. And we know that 1 cubic centimeter is the same as 1 milliliter, and 1 milliliter is the same as, so 1 milliliter, so if we have 3,000 cubic centimeters, this would be the same thing as saying I have 3,000 milliliters, and since there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, I can take my 3,000 milliliters divided by 1,000 milliliters, because this is 1 liter. Milliliters divide out, 1,000 divides out, and I'm left with 3 liters. And the last one, if the aquarium weighs 6 pounds when empty, then about how much would it weigh when it is 3/4 full? So the aquarium, we're referring to the aquarium in D. So if that already has 3 liters, so 3 liters, that's if it's full, but it's 3/4 full. So 3 times 0.75, so 75% would give us 2.25 liters. So the aquarium has 2.25 liters of water in it. If the aquarium weighs 6 pounds when it's empty, 6 pounds, I multiply that by 2.2 kilograms, because 1 kilogram is the same thing as 1 kilogram is the same as 2.2 pounds. So I want to find out how many kilograms this would be. So I would take 6 times 2.2. This would be 13.2 kilograms. And we know that 1 liter is the same as 1 kilogram. So this would also be the same as 2.25 kilograms. So if it's full, if the whole aquarium when it's empty is 13.2, I take my 13.2 kilograms and I subtract the 2.25 kilograms. This would give me 10.95, which is about 11 pounds. And actually what I did was, you'd still use the same numbers, but I had the labels mixed up. I would actually not, I would keep the 6 pounds here from what I had before. And I would just convert everything to pounds because they're asking for the weight in pounds. So I had this 2.25 kilograms. To put that into pounds, I would just take the 2.25 times the 2.2, because 1 kilogram is the same as 2.2 pounds. So 2.25 times 2.2 gives me 4.95. So I just add the 6 pounds and the weight of the water, which would be 4.95, which is the same thing as 10.95 pounds, which would be rounded to the nearest pound, would be about 11 pounds. That would be the weight of the aquarium when it's 3/4 full. So that is our lesson today on volume, capacity, and mass in the metric system.